It's snowing outside. It is the day of the Bergen County Tournament Championship game, so it's hockey night. NorthJerseySports.com's original multimedia series talking all things ice hockey across North Jersey. This is Season 3, Episode 5, I think. But whatever it is the preview edition of the Bergen County Championship game, which will be played tonight, Wednesday, 7:15 puck drop at the Ice Vault in Wayne. I am Corey Doviak, being joined by just one of my panel of illustrious North Jersey ice hockey insiders, the Maven away on assignment, which is called his job, Corey Robinson, joining us from closed doors somewhere, doing his job and also finding a little time to be a co-host. What's going on, Corey?
Ready to go tonight. It's been a good tournament. Had a lot of good matchups, a lot of competitive games, and I think many of the teams in the tournament are going to show well in the state tournament later on, which is something we always hope for. So that's a positive thing, and Indian Hills tonight gets a chance to see if they can dethrone the county champions and the best team in the state at the same time. So we'll see how it goes, and it's obviously going to be a tall task, but Anthony has his team playing well, so it should be fun to see.
It's fun because you have two alternate sides of the story, and we're going to get both of them. We're going to have Anthony Tabbachino, the Indian Hills head coach, on shortly. We're also going to talk to Greg Toskos, the Don Bosco prep head coach. But from the Indian Hills side, you have a chance for the monumental upset, and from the Don Bosco side, you have the chance to continue the dominance that they've shown throughout the existence of the Bergen County Ice Hockey Tournament. They are the tournament's only ever champion, and they'll look to keep that going. So it is interesting when you get two opposite sides of the coin like that. And who knows? With the dice.
We shall see.
My brilliant pros there.
Well, you said who knows, but I thought you were going to keep going. But, yeah, we shall see. St. Joe's, got through the first period scoreless the other night. But, they come – they're not Don Bosco's not a team that comes like in waves. They just seem to come all the time. So it's it's just a great opportunity for Indian Hills to play the game. They beat Ridge, they beat Glen Rock, they beat some real good public schools. This will be a little bit of a different level, but they're in a county final, and that's something to be proud of. But they got a chance to compete with, a really, really good hockey team. So if I'm playing for Indian Hills tonight, it's something that I can't wait for the bell to ring at 2:45 and get closer to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so without further delay, let's get involved with the principals, the coaches who will be on opposing benches tonight. First up, joining us here on It's Hockey Night is the head coach of the 7th-seeded Indian Hills Braves as they head into this county championship. He is Anthony Tabbachino. Anthony, thank you for joining us here on this early morning edition of It's Hockey Night.
How we doing, guys?
Well, not as good as the Indian Hills Braves here with this charmed run through the Bergen County tournament. You've allowed 2 goals in the 3 games in the tournament, a 2-0 shutout against Northern Highlands in the semifinals. Let's talk about that one first. That's a great effort by your squad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a goaltender that's playing really well right now. We have 2 really good, capable goalies. Right before the tournament, we had a game against Ridge. We were alternating back and forth throughout. Joe happened to get the Ridge game, Joe Baggy, and he absolutely played a great game. We won 3-2. Went back with him for Tenafly, had a great game. Went back to him with Glenrock, had a really great game, and then had another one against Northern Highlands. So it's as far as the results, the last couple of weeks, our goaltender's been playing well as they have been all year, and our team's just kind of really taken a step. We're a young team, so seeing them kind of leap over this ledge has been incredibly nice, and really proud of them because they've come a long way since the beginning of the season when we were 2-4-1.
Corey, listening to all this goaltending talk, I know makes you very happy.
I love the goaltending. Still think the coach is the number 1 goalie in the Big North. But he can't play tonight. He's aged out. But Tabs is Well, talk about the Glen Rock game, because that was the one game that might have been the best game in the tournament so far. What did you tell the guys going into that one?
I mean, it was time to take a step. I mean, we're capable of doing it. We have the talent. We're very young. We rely primarily on sophomores and juniors who are now ready to, take this next step onto the next level. It's nice playing these teams that we want to beat, but we want to be the team that, others want to beat. So in order to get there, the last 3 years, we put together pretty nice records, but we've never seemed to be able to knock off that team. So, I mean, results are results. I think, I forget who sent it out. I didn't even really think about it till afterwards, but when we played Ridge and then we played Glen Rock, we knocked off the reigning Public A and B champions in the same week, which, regardless of graduation stuff, it's just nice to take down two programs like that, because we've been after that for a while. So is it like a changing of the tides? I don't know. We'll find out. Obviously, we have a lot of results we have to go, but we're definitely capable of becoming that team. So we're doing everything that we want to do. I mean, I know we have like a very difficult matchup tonight, but this is the game that we want to be playing in, and this is the results that we're looking for. And the kids are really seem to be buying in, and they're playing really well together right now. So I mean, Glen Rock game itself. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but the Glen Rock game itself, they really came together and had a great game, and they stuck to the plan, and they kind of willed themselves over, and got a great game out of our goaltender to keep it close, and all you need is one. So
yeah, and your goalie obviously has been playing great, but it is a matter of you guys, is he standing on his head, or are you, really playing well defensively to
well.
Go ahead.
Playing well, not to the point, like I think a few years ago we had the kid Welty. I don't know if you remember that name.
Yes.
Josh Welty was probably
a guest on the show.
He was a really good goaltender. He had to, I'd say pound for pound, Welty's job was more difficult than it is right now. I think right now you're seeing goaltenders, defense, your team is starting to, it's starting to find their niche a little bit. So, I mean, are we, still young, and, are there stronger teams out there than us? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't fight age, especially when it's an 18-year-old and a 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
But is the team as a whole starting to come together where you're seeing that picture that, of possibility? Yeah, for sure. So you're seeing young kids start to reach their maturity, and they're really turning into, possibly something to be special, but time will tell. So, I mean, very proud of them, though. And is there, to answer your question, the team's coming together very nicely, including our goaltender.
Go ahead, Corey. Ask him about the elephant in the room, the Don Bosco.
Well, which leads us to tonight. They're looking at them, and I've been doing this for a while. They're playing right now on a level that's probably equivalent to the undefeated Del Barton team from years ago with Agostino, maybe even going back to that great Hudson Catholic team in 2000.
Yeah, they were
only joking that, but we would have that could be a fun question to talk about later.
Yes.
But obviously your kids know their kids. You guys play out of the same rink. I think one of the things that hurt maybe a couple of the teams that have played them so far is they're kind of in awe of them before the game starts. How are you going to get that out of the room immediately? And because you're gonna have to, right from when the puck drops, it can't be any looking around and looking at that the star factor and the star power that they have.
Well, yeah, I mean let's be honest. I mean they're good. They're well coached. Toskos has a great program. I mean, I don't know what year in a row they're trying to make this for tonight. It's an incredibly difficult task at hand. So I think the kids, as far as, listen, I mean, obviously a lot of these kids play together in their travel programs and whatnot, and they're older than us. Some of their kids know where they're going for colleges. They've put it this way, our kids, as much as they're maybe a little in awe of them, we have a few of them that are also competitively thinking that they're better than them, if that makes sense. skill-wise. They don't want to be where they're at right now. I mean, for the two kids, I think Mickey and Campo, both of them have college offers. I have two kids on my team as well that want the same result. So for them to think anything else than we think that we're a better player than them would be, which, time will tell. We'll find out. I don't know about right now. Mickey and Campo, they're older than them, but the mindset's there. So, yeah, do we have a couple kids that maybe aren't on that Hitman team that play and they're in a little awe? Yeah, there might be. But we also have a couple kids that, want to win this game and they want to prove to a few people that they can play with them. So, it's an interesting time, to be honest. I mean, it's an interesting time for us, and like I said before, we're where we want to be. And we want, regardless, this is going to be a great experience, regardless of what happens tonight, whether it's a great experience for this year or for next year or the third year. We want to be in this game. Whether we get back here next year or the third year, I don't know. But this is definitely going to help us for the future. It's going to help us right now. And we've come a long way. So this is the first time, I think Corey can attest to this too, we had first team to be playing 4 games in this tournament. So we've never had a team from the prelims make it to the finals. So I mean that's a nice step in the right direction, and it's they're doing a lot of good stuff. Really proud of them. They're doing a lot of good stuff, and we're trying to turn the page and get to become that upper echelon team, and that's where we're at. To be honest,
well, I think you're there. A tremendous opportunity presents itself tonight. Puck drop 7:15 at the Ice Vault. And win or lose, you're going to get, we talk about this a lot on the different shows here. It's, going forward, you have kids who want to go play college hockey, and who knows, may wind up in the NHL, but most of your kids, if not all of them, will not. And they will look back on this experience. We, the three here, Corey especially, have the benefit of hindsight to realize just what a great time high school athletics are. And, every kid who goes through it says, I played against him, this kid was there when I was there,
for sure.
And all of those things. So for life, this is a great experience, let alone what happens in one particular high school hockey game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not taking the test. I'm not the oldest guy here by any means, but you definitely look back and you think about some stuff that I wish I maybe got sunk in that moment a little bit more. And it's not just a game, and unfortunately, it's tough you got to try and make them realize that as much as possible. But it's definitely the way I look at it is this: you only have one hometown. No matter where you go, no matter what you do in life, you're only going to really have one hometown where you were raised, or hopefully, that's not the case for everyone, but for most people, they only have one. So when you look back and these kids they play with on travel hockey and they play with together, they eventually are going to go their own separate ways. Some of them will stay close, but you have a better chance of keeping yourself together, keeping in contact with the guys you grew up with. And what are those memories going to be? It's going to be something that happened tonight. So, I mean, like I said, it's a great experience just for the kids in general and coaches too, but, it's just the organization as a whole. We got a good group of kids, good parents. You just, when everyone gets clicking on the same page, crazy stuff happens.
Yes,
so I don't think anyone really gave us too much of a chance to get in here, but we're here and we're going to enjoy it and we're going to have a good time.
So, and just for the record, Corey Robinson is the oldest one on this edition.
I don't believe that to be. I don't believe that to be true. But I think you got me by about 5 years. I still can skate. What about you, Corey? Can you skate or what?
Absolutely not. I'm like a tripod on the ice.
And your daughter goes to Vermont, and you can't skate. That's
I have to have the stick down on the ice at all times.
There you go.
You got anything else
for the coach? Good luck tonight, man. I'll see you over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Anthony.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, great. Thanks again for joining us, and good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. We'll do.
All right, interesting stuff there with Indian Hills head coach Anthony Tabbachino. We know what he has in store for him in tonight's Bergen County Tournament Final. Puck dropping at 7:15 at the Ice House, and on the opposing bench will be our next guest. Joining us here on It's Hockey Night is Don Bosco Prep head coach Greg Toskos. Coach, thanks for joining us on this early morning edition.
Good morning, man. I'm happy to be on.
Well, we are happy to have you. And again, as we were just talking about with Anthony Tabbachino, the opportunity that lies in front of his kids is different than the one that lies in front of your kids, even though you're playing in the same game. You're in the midst of a tremendous season, really an all-time season that you have going here, and a chance to add some hardware, which I'm sure you're looking forward to.
Yeah, we look forward to any tournament that we enter. Whether that be this one, the league tournament, the state tournament. This year we played in Princeton Day tournament. We want to win, right? It doesn't matter what it is. We go in with the mindset that we want to win. I've said this in the past, and I truly mean this with the county tournament. The difference between this type of tournament and other ones is that there is a county baseball tournament. There is a county soccer tournament. There's a volleyball tournament, which I believe the Cutters, generally win. There are
Correct.
some really great county tournaments out there that all the schools in Bergen County take pride in winning. So it is a special one for us. I know we've been fortunate enough to be on the plus side of things the last few years, but in these games, I've said this 100 times, you get a hot goaltender, and they sure do have a hot goaltender. You never know what can happen.
Yes, and just for the record, the Cutters, we're talking boys volleyball, right, Corey?
Yes, we are talking boys volleyball.
All right. Continue with the hockey chat.
So, Coach, the other night, first period, dominated St. Joe's. Absolutely, I don't remember the shots, 24-2, whatever it was. They had the hot goalie in the first period. What'd you say to the guys after the 5-minute break there to keep them going? Because once you came out in the second period, you were able to solve the kid.
Yeah, I think two things. One was just stick to the game plan. I mean, I don't think our game plan needed to change at all. The one slight thing that we did want to adjust is at that point we wanted to get more shots from the top of the of the diamond, meaning I think a lot of our shots were coming from the outside wings, that kind of hash marks. And if you looked at our first goal, even though it was a power play goal, it was Campo with just an absolute hammer from literally in the middle of the ice, dead on. We had a good screen in front of the net. So that's what we wanted to get, a little bit more traffic in front and shots from up top. And 50 seconds in, it happened. And I think once that happened, it kind of, the floodgates opened a little bit for us. I mean, look, we had 3 or 4 crossbars in that first period, and also the knob of the goalie stick a couple times. And the goalie played excellent, so this is not to take away anything from that goaltender who played outstanding, but it could have been, a couple in the first period there.
No doubt.
Indian Hills is going to come out flying. Listen, this is, this means the world to them. They get a chance at the number 1 team in the state. Yeah, how about just talking to your kids about, what do you talk about to your kids about before that first shift, when adrenaline is going to be pumping on both sides, and maybe you have to weather an early storm or so?
Yeah, I think we can expect that. I think what I would, maybe I'll give you a little insight into my pregame speech. Really, is that I think looking at the sheets that Jim McConneville puts out that talks about the Bergen County tournament and a little bit of the history on it. The public school teams that we've played in the championship game have all gone out to either win or go to the public state finals. So there's a lot of motivation for the teams that we're playing. In this case, it's Indian Hills, to really play as well as they can possibly play, and maybe it sets them up down the line for something big. So I'd say it's 100% weather the storm, but more so know that I know Anthony Tabbachino, and they're walking in saying, we can win this game. Anything can happen in a one-game tournament, which essentially is what we're at tonight.
Yeah. Go ahead, Corey.
And just to close it out, after tonight, you got a pretty big game coming up, which I don't think we'll talk to you before then, but pretty big game coming up on Sunday. You don't want to get caught looking ahead. Is that a little thing tonight to tell the boys, let's not get that far ahead of ourselves?
Corey, I think our veteran leadership is really good. Campo and Burns, George Weiner, and and Tristan Fries, these guys, Graham and Garlasco, that have been around for 4 years now. I don't think they look ahead in games anymore. I think they sit there and figure out who we're playing that day, who on the other team we got to worry about, what we got to think about, how we're going to keep shots down, how we're going to keep our shots up. I don't worry about them looking ahead. What I do worry about them is, hey, it's snowing out. Are we going to get an extra snow day tomorrow? Silly stuff like that. Yeah. Versus, is
that a plug to Coach Brian McAleer to maybe put a word in with administration?
Look, if we get a win, maybe the kids can get a little early or late start to the day tomorrow.
Yeah.
You mentioned some names there. Well, talk about Sedlak too, because he was. Obviously I've noticed the guys you mentioned, but Sedlak has really had a good tournament. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, Tyler's not only had a good tournament, he's had an incredible year so far. And Tyler and Mickey have had this chemistry for a couple of years now. He's almost got 20 goals already this season. We're halfway through the year. He's got 40 points on the season. I think one of the things that I've noticed differently about Tyler this year is his skating has gotten a lot better. So he's been able to keep up with Burns, who is just an incredible skater, and get up the ice fast. And the two of them, whether they're 2-on-1 plays or 3-on-2 line rushes, or then even on the power play, sneaking back door, things like that, his knack for the net has always been there, but his skating's gotten that much better. That's allowed him to increase his opportunities for goals, and then clearly for dishing some assists as well. Super thrilled with the way he's been playing.
Greg Toskos.
Well, good luck tonight.
Yeah, head coach of the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen. Thanks for jumping on here with us today, helping us preview this county final tonight. It's going to be fun. Corey Robinson will be in attendance, lording over all of the festivities from his throne at the Ice Vault. And
there's no throne. That's for Kevin Sabella if he shows up tonight, if he's allowed out of his house.
Corey Robinson will give the thumbs up or the thumbs down to your performance. And a lot of people are going to be interested in watching it. So, hey, congratulations on a great season so far. Keep it rolling, and we always appreciate you jumping on here with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Corey, interesting stuff there with the coaches. Nothing left to be said other than, hey, let's get going here.
Yeah, that was actually a really good segment with both of them, obviously separate. We probably could have brought them together, and they would have both spoke very highly of each other's teams, and I thought Tabs was right on, and I thought Greg was really on too. So, just going to be a good night, and let's see how the puck bounces, and we know what the outcome is supposed to be, but it's a hockey game, and they're high school kids, and stranger things have happened.
Yes, they certainly have. I suggest a quick watch of Villanova-Georgetown in the 1985 NCAA Tournament Championship for some inspiration for Indian Hills, and we'll see how
what
plays.
What happened 5 years before that?
1980? I was just a kid. I mean, we've been over this today. You're much older than me.
All right, but if we're going to talk hockey, let's compare it to hockey.
Well, if we've learned one thing, we've learned a lot of things on this episode. But
you're talking about Villanova-Georgetown.
Yes, well,
which I did watch that game. I was a big Villanova fan growing up.
If we've learned anything over the course of this show's duration over the last few years, is that I don't really know anything about hockey. But I will be back to talk about it next week on It's Hockey Night. See you then.
Follow the leader.